The more images I see coming out of the pre-production for the Joker standalone movie, the more I start to think that I might be wrong for the first time in my life. Here at Key Issues, we are on record stating that this movie is a bad idea, and if you want to know why we think it's a bad idea, click on the card. It's no secret that Key Issues loves DC Comics and strongly dislikes most of the recent modern DC films. However, just because DC has made some bad films recently doesn't mean that they don't have the potential to make something truly amazing. Superman 1 and 2, the Tim Burton Batman movies, and the Nolan trilogy, just to name a few. So today let's take a look at why the upcoming Joker origin film might end up being a diamond in the very, 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 very rough world of DC films. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell to become legendary so you don't miss any Key Issues content, and let us know if there's any legends down in the chat. When the Joker film was announced to be an origin story, I think there were really three reactions that the majority of us had. First was, no DC, why DC, please stop doing this to us. The second is, yeah, no, this is exactly what I want. I love the Joker, I'll take whatever I can get, and I'll give the movie a shot. And the final reaction was, hey, is that the Joker guy the same dude with that awesome snakeskin jacket and Post Malone face tattoos from Suicide Squad? And unfortunately, yes, he is. He now goes by Jokes Malone, so catch his new album Gas Attacks and Bentley's dropping worldwide in 2019. So when this Joker standalone movie was announced, I immediately started searching the internet for facts. No, not facts about the Joker movie. I don't care about that. I was looking for something else, specifically someone else, a man named Morpheus. See, I believe Morpheus could pull me out of the hellish dreamscape of a nightmare simulation that I was living in. This Matrix is not the one I chose to live in, and I would rather live my life among the ruins of the machine world than continue to live in the technological bonds that my robot overlords have created for me. One where I am forced to watch garbage Joker standalone movies. So I searched for months to find no answers. But then DC released this picture of Arthur. And you know what? I started to believe. And I'm sure a few people out there looked at this photo and thought, what the hell is this? This looks nothing like the Joker. But it does. Kinda. See, I have been a massive fan of the Joker my entire life. He's actually my favorite comic book character. But to understand why this photo makes sense, you really need to understand the core concepts behind the Joker. Joker is a perfect villain, the complete antithesis of Batman. Batman represents structure, order, and selfless heroism, while the Joker represents chaos and fear. Batman has a very clearly defined origin. We've seen it like 500 times. In fact, there was an actual amendment in the Constitution that if you even think about creating a new piece of Batman media and you don't mention his origin story, you have to spend a minimum of 10 years in Guantanamo Bay. And being the perfect contradiction to Batman, the Joker doesn't have an origin story. Well, at least not a well-established canon origin story. One of the most interesting things about the Joker is that he has never really had a true origin. In fact, the closest we ever got to an origin is the beloved Alan Moore story told during The Killing Joke. This backstory outlines a time where an unnamed engineer, who fans have nicknamed Arthur, quits his job to pursue a career as a stand-up comedian. Being a struggling comedian who isn't that funny with a pregnant wife at home, he agrees to guide two criminals through the chemical plant that he used to work at so they can rob the place. During their initial plans, his wife dies in a freak accident, and despite being under tremendous grief and stress, Arthur is strong-armed into continuing to help the criminals in their plan. When Batman arrives to stop the burglary, the engineer stumbles into a vat of chemicals and is swept away. When he washes ashore, his skin is bleached white, and he has been completely driven insane by one bad day. So the big fear that many comic book fans have is that this film is going to give the Joker a backstory that is set in stone, but we don't want that. That's why we enjoy the Joker from The Killing Joke, who says,
"Sometimes I remember it one way, sometimes another. If I'm going to have a past, I prefer it to be multiple choice."
Or the Joker from The Dark Knight, who used his backstory as a tool, as a means to an end to further the chaos surrounding Batman. And I think this movie will take a similar route. I believe that by the end of the film, we will still not know for sure where this Joker came from. We may get multiple stories about his past, or we may find out that the entire story told about Arthur was a fabrication. And I think that one of these scenarios will be true, and we will not get a definitive origin that many think we will. This image is very powerful to me. This image shows me that it's possible writer Scott Silver and director Todd Phillips might actually understand the core material, unlike another director who will go unnamed at this time. So there has been some set footage leaked of actor Joaquin Phoenix on set, and his mannerisms even seem to point out that he understands the character and what the character is going through at this time. Arthur is shown arguing with a clown outside of Amusement Mile, an iconic part of Gotham's history that appears in many Nightwing, Batman, and Joker stories. Arthur looks to be a timid man with very passive tendencies, not necessarily violence-prone, but he has some clear quirks in his mannerisms. There isn't much to go on, but it definitely looks interesting. Additionally, when it comes to drama, humor, and story structure, this film is in great hands. Scott Silver has written some great films like The Fighter and 8 Mile. Both are stories about a person down on their luck who rises up to become something more. Now, this would certainly be a gross perversion of that concept, but it's still definitely true to the tone of the character. And, of course, Joaquin Phoenix needs no introduction. The Academy Award-winning actor has made some incredible films. But as we have seen with another Oscar-winning Joker, Jared Leto, it's not necessarily all in the hands of the actor, but more in the hands of the writer and the director. So we know that Joaquin Phoenix is competent, and so does Warner Brothers and DC. To date, every live-action Joker other than Cesar Romero has won an Oscar, so it's clear that DC cares about who is playing the character. Overall, I'm really liking what I'm seeing. We're still a year out, and no doubt we probably won't see a fully realized image of the Joker until we're closer to a trailer release or even the film's release. I would imagine that they want to save all of that to drive the hype for the film later on. But as long as Joaquin Phoenix doesn't have damage tattooed on his face, whatever they do will be an improvement. Oh man, that was such a horrible design choice. Who allowed that to happen? They should be charged by the UN for crimes against humanity. Finally, I'd like to mention the last elephant in the room. Wouldn't it be confusing to audiences to have two Jokers portrayed by two actors in two universes at the same time? The simple answer is yes. Uninformed moviegoers likely won't know that this isn't a part of the DC Extended Universe, but I have a great theory that connects this film to the DC Extended Universe. What if this Joker, meaning Arthur, portrayed by Joaquin Phoenix, left Gotham and appointed a new Joker, played by Jared Leto, and Jared Leto's Joker happened to be a brainwashed and broken Jason Todd? Wouldn't that be very interesting? If you want to see my full theory, go ahead and click the card. But that's all I've got for you guys today. What do you think? Are you excited for this film? Do you have hope for this film? I certainly do. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe if you did enjoy this video. Also, be sure to follow us on Twitter at KeyIssuesCast. That's at KeyIssuesCast. And remember the motto, it's comics over everything. And I'll see you guys next time.